Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today, we got a banger of a news story for you. Yes, you might be wondering, why am I on the opposite side of the screen? Don't worry, that'll be self-explanatory in a moment. As always, though, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because that was a lot. Thanks. So today, we got wind of a mail. Someone told me about this yesterday as well, but I didn't have time to look into it. And this morning, someone else told me about it again. And I thought, okay, well, now I need to go and look into it because there was a mail that dropped from EIS, which we're in 176, right? Their new/rebuild kingdom. And it was sent by Dark, right? The King R5, their VIS. Now, to give you a quick update before we go through and read all of this on the matchup, this is it. Just for a quick review, right? This is what we have. So it's RAC, SSG, EIS versus BTX Echo RFF. Again, we've talked about this. I'm hoping, again, at least by the time I'm recording this, right, hopefully within less than 7 hours, right, I'll get an updated scan from Fuzzy, again, if everything ends up working out. And then we'll look at some advanced stats. But this is what it is right now. We've talked about this before, where the matchup at face value, at least for the limited numbers we have currently, this isn't bad. Like, this isn't, like, you can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, this is god awful. It's so incredibly unbalanced or favoring one side or the other. No, like it's actually a little bit more balanced now after the updated RAC numbers, when you minus out that there's 33 players or so in the second alliance may not be contributing and or participating because they might be leaving, from the reports that we got, that I had heard from someone there within the RAC management team. Okay, so now we get back to the mail. Let's take a read. To all my loyal subjects, of course, he's got to stay on point. Thank you for standing with the last true ancient power in this game. As heirs to a long and proud legacy, we bear the duty of leading with wisdom, especially through the chaos of CallofDragons diplomacy, which, I mean, it can be. From our experience, we've learned much. From Noor, we saw how a non-aggression pact, NAP, works exactly like an alliance, just with a different name. From Echo, we learned how to pull off a true free-for-all FFA working with nearby teams, not in their coalition, referring to not the past season, but 2 seasons, I think 2-3 seasons ago. They coordinated with BXS and NTS, avoiding fights with them while focusing on Noor, Kong, and GG. We intend to follow a similar path. Ooh. After much consideration, EIS now declares itself officially free for all in this KvK. We'll get to that in a moment. We have no allies, no safety net. We face the world alone, unified by a purpose and driven by strength. We will conquer together or fall with honor. I know what you're thinking. How brave, how bold. And you're right. Are we? Are we right? We stand now against BTX, Echo, and RFF alone, but not without spirit. We will coordinate respectfully with RAC and SSG for passage or flag clearing, just as Echo did in their time with BXS and NTS. But let it be clear, we are not allies, we are free for all. Let us rise and face this challenge head on. Let the world witness what it means to stand as the last true ancient power. Let us show them the fury of a kingdom that fights alone against the world. We are EIS. Your bestest friend, sexy idol, and supreme leader, Dark. There's a lot to unpack there. What I will initially start off by saying is a similar thing that I said to Echo at the time. Consistency is important here, guys and gals. In that, declaring free for all, it's just a sham. It is. And I say that because there's two sides to this. On one side, if you're declaring a free for all, that means to me that you are going to fight against everyone at every possible opportunity. That's it. There's no other definition of it. You truly have no allies. You don't work with anyone. You don't cooperate with anyone. You are free for all. So own it like a big boy and keep it pushing. Secondly, or the other side, and this is pertaining to what happened with the Echo situation. And I'll tell you what I said about to Echo when they declared that, and I'll keep it the same consistency here for EIS as well, is that there is no such thing as Echo, or excuse me, there's no such thing as free-for-all, but we're still going to work with you in some capacity. That makes no sense. It's blasphemy. And that is because, right, and even it's the same thing. And a great example is if you look at the NAP situation that happened with TFS and Noir, I mean, they got berated by the community because everyone thought it was just a joke. And not a joke as in they are a joke, as a joke as in, okay, well, they're saying they're doing this NAP, but they're going to fight it out in the final zone when it finally comes. Like, we all saw what happened. It was like hours of fighting from many reports, but effortlessly less than a day of fighting, which should not have been the case. And so, yeah, it felt like it was just, the veil got pulled over people's eyes, right? And it just kind of came off as, well, I mean, this just don't call it that, right? And so now we get a situation where EIS, respectfully, they are deciding to do this. However, keep in mind, it doesn't change anything. Like, you're either going to fully commit to going truly free-for-all, or you're not. Because I'll tell you right now, the moment that you do anything that remotely indicates that EIS is working with SSG and RAC, people are just going to be like, all right, well, it's not really a free-for-all because you're working with them. Like I said, that's how I view it. That's how I would interpret a free-for-all, a true free-for-all. And I just don't know necessarily what the reason would be. Because again, we saw how it worked out with Echo. They could say it was a free-for-all, but they worked with the other alliances there. Doesn't matter if you called an ally or nothing, it didn't really change much. Right? The only difference is I don't even know. Even if you were allied, you'd still be communicating. Maybe you'll fight them at some statues, but to be fair, you could do the same thing by teaming up with them. That doesn't change the fact. You could still be on their team and say, hey, do you guys want to fight at the statue? Hey, do you want to fight at this zone too? You can still do that. So I don't know. Maybe it's the perception of, oh, well, if we declare free for all, then maybe they'll fight against us more, right? I mean, even if you look at map positioning here, right? So EIS is 176, their allies 266, 363, right? So in this case, right, 176 here, they have 283, which is RFF on this side, and then 60, which is Echo on this side. Why do you need to declare a free-for-all? None of your allies are near you. Nothing can happen. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just, again, this is me objectively looking at it. It just makes no sense. I don't get it. All you had to do is just say, listen, we're going to work with them, but we're also going to fight each other maybe before final zone if there's opportunities. Like, it would have been nice if in the mail, because you have to look at this, right? You have 266, they're here. So the only way that them and EIS could connect would be in this cross zone 3, right? So this would be the cross zone 3 pass. For 363 over here, it'd be the same. It'd be the cross zone 3 pass, right? Sure, maybe statue, but 363 would have to beat Echo, and then 266 in RAC would have to beat a BTX, right? For you to get to that potential situation. Otherwise, like, I'm not getting it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like where's Zach Galifianakis, right? In the GIF where he's like looking at all the numbers they're going across. It just, maybe, I don't know, is it just me? Do other people not get it? I'd be curious to see and hear what other people think. But going back, like I said, to the mail, to me, I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more like reasoning. Like, what are the differences? And I mean the differences for how EIS and Dark see it. because maybe they don't see it. Like maybe what I'm saying isn't something they recognize, or maybe it's not something they see. Maybe it's just not something they believe, which is, again, that's fine, right? To each their own. But I at least would have loved to see some explanation, some reasoning, right? On, because this is a mail going out to your kingdom. My expectation is that you would give a reason. Something more than, oh, well, we're doing it because someone else did it and because it looked cool, so let's try to do that as well. You know what I mean? It just would have been nice to see something. Yeah, it's just, if you look at their position, no matter what, regardless if they allied, regardless if they officially allied with RAC and SSG or not, their outcome is the same. And you could argue their outcome will be the same, and that it could be the same throughout the entire KvK, albeit that scenario I just presented. So I don't know. It feels like it's fluff, right? It feels like it's drama isn't the right word, but it just feels to me that it's being I almost wanted to say like Hollywoodified, if you will, right? Like more than what it is. Might be the easier way to put it. But again, like that's just how I see it, looking outside in. I'm curious to hear what you guys say. I'm sure Dark might get some requests on his middle name here. So, again, just, be careful on word protection. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.